Everything has changed. Everything has changed.
Everything has changed.
Everything has changed.
Everything
has changed. Everything has changed.
Everything has changed.
Everything has changed. Everything has changed. Everything has changed. Everything has changed. Everything has changed. Everything has changed. Everything has changed. Everything has changed. Everything has changed.
Howdy! Welcome back to another video. So as you know, I'm doing a video each, well, some of them might be multiple parts, but a video each on my favorite movies, music, games, books is the one I previously did, so yeah, I'll be doing the other ones, but today's is about my favorite music artists. And I thought about like doing a ranked list. I thought that might be fun, but then I realized it'd be kind of hard to rank them for me, so I just decided to not do that. But I'm just going to talk about a variety of my favorite music artists. I don't listen to a lot of the most popular music other than Taylor Swift, and I also haven't heard enough old music that I want to. So most of these are like modern current artists who are indie artists or slightly less popular mainstream-ish artists. That just ends up being most of what I listen to. I like a lot of alternative rock and similar genres, but with some other things blended in as well. So anyways, let's get into it. And then moving on to my favorite music artists, we're going to start it off by talking about Linkin Park. As you can see, I have a... Oh shit, that's right. I'm not using my web... Oh my god, I just bumped things. I'm not using my webcam, I'm using this camera. I totally forgot. Wasn't that crazy? Anyways, that's right. Let's talk about Linkin Park. So Linkin Park, in a way, might be like my all-time favorite artist or band. I've been into them ever since I was quite young. I think I was in like middle school when I discovered them through the Transformers movies, which I liked at the time, because I was a middle school boy who was stupid.
I am directly below the enemy scrotum.
Anyways, thankfully, those stupid movies featured some good music from Linkin Park in in each of the movies. So that's how I discovered them. So Linkin Park, many people know them for Hybrid Theory, which was their first album, and also for Meteora, their second album, which was in a very similar style, pretty much the same style. Now, what I love about Linkin Park is how they break and mix a bunch of different genres of music to create their music.
The bass inside is hearing me right underneath my skin. It's like a paranoid broken over my back.
And they make it sound good and sound natural, like it was meant to be. They started out by mixing metal with hip-hop. In the End is probably their most popular song, followed by Numb. Trying to hold on, you didn't even know you wasted it all just to watch you go. What it meant to me will eventually be a memory of a time when I tried so hard and got so far. I've become so numb, I can't feel you there. Become so tired, so much more to wear. Is be more like me and be less like you. But yeah, there was a lot of like teenage angst in those early albums, which I think a lot of people related to when they first found Linkin Park and were listening to them. So after their first two albums, Linkin Park changed up their musical style on Minutes to Midnight, and on every album since, they've kept on changing their style, which a lot of fans have not liked. It seems like a lot of them just wanted them to stick to their original sound and keep making more of that. Me, I disagree with that. I really like it when bands, or just artists in general, mix up their sound and evolve and keep changing it. I think that's interesting. I think it's boring if they keep on sounding the same. But unfortunately, how a lot of fandom works in general is fans want the same thing they've gotten before again, but just different enough to make it feel different and not like a rehash. But I'm not like that. So for that reason, I've really enjoyed all of Linkin Park's music throughout all of their eras. I never felt like they got bad. So yeah, on their next album, Minutes to Midnight, they had some songs that were softer, slower. They had a lot less rap on that album. And here's some song recommendations. If you have never listened to Linkin Park, or if you've only listened to like their main singles and most popular songs, this will give you something more. Alright, this song is Given Up. Chester has, no joke, a 17-minute long scream in it, which is just amazing. Out of my fucking misery. This is the long scream. I have to keep talking over it, or else I will get a copyright notice. I might already, because like 17 seconds is too long of a song to show without getting a copyright notice. So we'll just see how this goes, but he's still going. He's still going. He finished. Bleed It Out is a lot of fun. It's one of the only hip-hop tracks on Minutes to Midnight, but it's really fast-paced and so much fun to rap along to. Yeah, here we go for the 100th time. Hand grenade pins in every line. Throw them up and let something shine. Going out of our fucking minds. Filthy mouth, no excuse. Find a new place to hang this noose. Truth is you can stop and stare. Let myself out, no one cares. Dug a trench out, laid down there with a shovel up out of reach somewhere. Yeah, someone pour it in. That's for again. Say your prayers. You bring that chorus in. It's been a little while since I've listened to this, so yeah, I've gotten a few of the lyrics. And then 1,000 Suns, which is widely, well, I don't know if it is anymore, but at the time it was widely thought to be the worst Linkin Park album. They just experimented with everything. They made this big concept album about like the end of the world, and mixing that in with like the ending of relationships with people. And overall the album is just about like the inevitability of human conflict. And it's done so beautifully that quite frankly I think is my favorite Linkin Park album. I know I'm not trying to just be a hipster and think the opposite of what a lot of the fans think. I genuinely think it's like their best album. Like every song on the album sounds different, and the tracks in between the songs that are just like noises or like light instrumental music, they do a really good job of blending all of those very different sounding songs together like seamlessly, so that whole album in a way sort of sounds like one song if you just listen to it from start to finish. Waiting for the End is amazing, how the song builds up and then at the end Chester is singing and Mike is rapping at the same time, and it just sounds so good. The end, this is not the beginning, just a voice like a riot rocking every vision. I'm holding on to a heaven. God, we say yeah, a fist flying up in the air. Alright, you know what's a super underrated song? Oh shit, there's like too many on this album. Okay, Blackout. So this song is like super hard and crazy. Chester raps on it and he screams, but then there's this ending to the song that's beautiful with Mike singing like calmly and slowly. Okay, another very underrated song is The Messenger. This just has Chester and I believe Brad playing the guitar. Sorry if I got that wrong. And Chester is like singing a song that's kind of like a lullaby, but he's like half scream singing it at the same time. And you would think it wouldn't work well, but it really does. And then after that was their album Living Things, which was a return to having more rap, but it was also more like electronic than their previous records.
We can't wait to burn into
I like Living Things a lot, but to me it might be one of my lesser Linkin Park albums. 'Cause I'm only a crack in this castle of glass. Aw, dude, Victimized. Victimized is underrated. It's so short too, but it's so good. Yeah, 1 minute 46 seconds.
Victimized! Never again! Victimized! The right to like the one to right.
It's a right, I'll give him. Wanna talk about a victim, I'ma put you there with him.
Victimized! Victimized!
Oh my god. You know, when I said that Living Things is kind of one of my lesser Linkin Park albums, I think I was wrong. Now that, because I haven't listened to it in a while, now that I'm looking at these tracks, I'm like, oh shit, no, I really like this album. Alright, another very underrated song is Roads Untraveled. 'Cause the love that you lost wasn't worth what it cost, and in time you'll be glad it's gone. It's like, you know, it's not an intense song that Linkin Park was known for back in the day, but it's so different and unique and really great. Yeah, honestly, I'm gonna have to take back what I said about Living Things being one of their worst albums. Then after that, they made The Hunting Party, which is definitely one of my favorites. It's very, like, heavy rock inspired, but it doesn't sound like their first two albums. It sounds distinctively different from those, but it still goes just as hard as them, and sometimes not as hard, in a good way. I love every song on this album, so it's making it hard to choose which ones to show. Oh, till it's gone, till it's gone. Okay, and then I think this is one of the best Linkin Park songs that's super underrated. A Line in the Sand. I think it's their longest song. It's like almost 7 minutes long. It's like a build-up. It starts with slow, like ambient music with Mike singing this kind of haunting tune. Laughed at the sun, we laughed at the guns, we laughed at it all. And then it gets more intense. Wait for it. And then it has like Chester singing the chorus, and then Mike raps a verse. I'd never seen blood. And then Chester sings a chorus. You'll tell them, give me back what's mine. Give me back what's mine. And then there's a awesome guitar solo. Give me back what's mine. And then at the end it goes back down to like that quiet, slower ambience, and Mike sings like a final, like slower verse to end the song. I think the song is a masterpiece, and none of the fans appreciate it, it seems. Laughed at the sun, I messed that up. Then their final album is One More Light. This is probably the album that now most fans would say is their worst album, and I think I would actually agree with that. This album is a modern pop album, which is strange for Linkin Park for sure, when in the past they've gone about doing all these unique things with genre, and then they just make a modern pop album. It's automatically just going to be less interesting. But with that being said, I think it's actually a rather good modern pop album. I don't think it's great, but most of the songs themselves are pretty good. And what Linkin Park said when they went about making this album was that on their previous albums, they focused on making the music first and then writing lyrics to the music. But with their songwriting process on One More Light, they wrote the lyrics first and then wrote music for them. So they wanted to focus more on the lyrics, which in a way kind of works. I don't really feel like their previous albums where they wrote the lyrics after the music have lyrics that are less meaningful or less important, and it never felt like the music completely takes over those lyrics.
Why is everything so heavy?
And I think overall what Linkin Park is really good at, other than just making music that sounds really awesome, is with their lyrics, they oftentimes just talk about anger, sadness, human tragedy, depression of certain sorts, and sometimes it's not, sometimes it's a bit happier. But the way that they talk about it is always in like very vague terms, and they use a lot of like metaphors and like imagery in their lyrics to get the ideas of them across. I feel like their lyrics are never too specific to a certain situation, and I think that's what helps their music be so relatable to like a lot of people, even if what they're going through may have been very different of what the Linkin Park band members went through when they wrote the song. Speaking of the band members, unfortunately, last year Chester Bennington tragically committed suicide. He's the lead singer of Linkin Park, and it was rough for me just having been a fan of them for so long for that to happen, and it really came as a shock to me because in all of the videos with the band just goofing around, like he always seems so happy and like so silly and not like he was overly tormented inside, but obviously that came out in their music, so.
Sniff the nectar! Oh, God! I just want to rub that all over my body. Oh! Oh! It's like food porn. You know what I mean? Like, this is just so arousing. Ah!
Judgy Bear.
Ah!
Peel back the lid to the dotted line. Fill the cup to the inside line. Close the lid, let it stand for 3 minutes. Remove the lid, stir well and enjoy.
Oh, cup of noodles. I only have 26 of you left. I'm one noodle closer to death.
Anyways, Linkin Park is a fantastic band. Even if they're done making music, that's fine. They brought us 7 great records. On One More Light, the titular track is very good, very sad, and when Linkin Park ended up making the music video, it was all about Chester's death to make it even sadder.
I do. Can I help you
Not to hurt anymore. Okay, another good song is Nobody Can Save Me. This song is obviously like, you know, it's very modern pop sounding, but I think it's still a great song.
I'm holding
Up a light, I'm chasing out the darkness inside.
'cause
Nobody
nobody
can save me.
to this illusion.
See, like, I think it's still good music, even though it's, you know, it's less creative than what they've done before.
Say I got this while I chase my tail, as if they can't tell I'm running from my shadow.
So since Linkin Park has stopped making music, Mike Shinoda has begun making music on his own as a solo artist. He actually did make some in the past, even before that, under the name Fort Minor. But if you don't know, Mike Shinoda is one of the band members of Linkin Park. He's like the secondary vocalist or singer, aka the rapper of the group. And his music on his own is somewhat similar to Linkin Park music, but also like its own thing. It's hip hop mixed with sort of indie rock pop music in a way. And in my opinion, the only normal album, I guess I would say, that he has released so far is called Post Traumatic. It's about him dealing with the death of Chester Bennington and, you know, his band and his whole career having to change because of it. So he's made a few albums since Post Traumatic that are mostly like instrumental music to like listen to in the background while you like work on stuff. And from what I've listened to them, they're pretty good. I honestly haven't listened to them that much, but there's some pretty good beats. But yeah, his album Post Traumatic is very good. One of the songs features K.Flay on it, who is going to be one of the artists I'll talk about later in the video, and Of course, I made a review of her album Solutions.
Keep on running
Backwards, I keep on losing faith. I thought I had the answers, I thought I knew the way. Knowing what this all is really about, knowing there's an exploration, I gotta figure shit out. Did I just say exploration? It's explanation, then expiration, but for some reason I said exploration. Crossing a Line is probably my favorite song on this album. I don't care anymore, and I hope you'll know that's a lie. It's keeping me up at night, worried it's not alright. But yeah, a lot of this music, like I said, it's about him dealing with the death of one of his best friends and sort of like, you know, the death of his career or having to turn it into something else unexpectedly. And it's not all sad. I feel like Crossing a Line is a song that sort of mixes sad with happy. That's the song that's mostly about getting over it and figuring out how to move on. So it's kind of, not quite, but it's almost at the middle of the album, so it's placed really well too, because most of the first part of the album is songs that are sad and about depression and how hard it is to get through it, but then most of the later half of the album is about getting through it, getting over it, finding happiness again, finding like a new path in life. And yeah, it's just such a fantastic album. Oh my god, Ghosts. Tonight is for ghosts, ghosts, ghosts. Calling out my name. Oh my god, he has so many good songs. It's too hard for me to like show them off. So you can call till your voice is running out, but I can't hear you now. I can't hear you now. Alright, I'm gonna move on to the next artist from there, but it's kind of hard to do.